things change.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 insanely expensive actors to work with.
Maybe it's the Gotham City in me, and we just have a bad history with freaks dressed like clowns.
For this list, we'll be looking at the Hollywood personalities with the highest price tags. Who's your favorite big-name celebrity? Let us know in the comments. Number 10, Lin-Manuel Miranda. In 2020, the rights to hit musical Hamilton were sold to media giant Disney for $75 million.
I am the A-L-E-X-A-N-D-E-R. We are meant to be.
The immensely talented composer, singer, and actor has made his fortune in various gigs, but the Disney deal was his largest payday yet. As one might expect from the perpetually positive Miranda, he doesn't spend his money on flashy gold cars and overpriced timepieces.
I guess I'm gonna finally have to listen to you.
Though he does have some real estate holdings, Miranda spends a lot of his time and money on philanthropic projects, namely relief for Puerto Rico following the 2019 hurricane, and scholarship programs for students of color.
Except that all of the funds will go to artists and arts organizations struggling to recover from Hurricane Maria.
Number 9, Sandra Bullock. She has come a long way from Speed, for which she made a paltry sum of $500,000. For 2013's major motion picture, Gravity, Bullock was paid $20 million up front with a 15% stake in box office revenue. This left her with a sum of approximately $70 million. The role was a stroke of luck for Bullock as she was called on to replace Angelina Jolie as the studio wanted a big name.
Give me a visual.
I told you nothing. I see nothing.
Coming off her Oscar win for The Blind Side, Bullock was an excellent choice. Given the gravity of the situation, pun intended, she could negotiate her salary. The studio was capable of sparing no expense on big-name salaries for the film, as it only stars 2 actors.
Funny that, to know.
Number 8, Dwayne Johnson. Can you smell what The Rock is cooking? These days, all he can smell is money.
Don't cry, don't cry, don't cry, don't cry, don't cry.
The former wrestler can be seen in a plethora of recent films, and he's not slowing down. His marketability isn't slowing down either. Amazon Studios will produce Red One starring Johnson. It is described as a Christmas action-adventure film, a genre that is clearly right up The Rock's alley. Johnson was given $30 million just for signing on and will receive another $20 million once the film is finished.
I'm in. Of course you are.
Honestly, however, we have to assume that Amazon is good for the money. It's mere pocket change to them.
I don't think there's any chance in hell I would back out.
Number 7, Arnold Schwarzenegger. Have you heard of a pay-or-play fee? Well, if you're Arnold Schwarzenegger, you have and are important enough to warrant one.
What's that supposed to mean?
A pay-or-play fee is a salary offered regardless of whether the film gets made or not. Arnie made $29.25 million for Terminator 3: Rise of the Machines. He would, however, have been paid the same had the film somehow failed to get produced.
You're right. You're not the one I want. I'm wasting my time.
The contract for his reprisal of the role reportedly contained over 33 pages. If you want Arnold, you'd better pay up. Yet, who could play the Terminator in his place? It would be the equivalent of recasting Indiana Jones. No one wants that.
Don't do that.
Number 6, Vin Diesel. Vin Diesel, whose real name is Mark Sinclair, how normal is that, is worth the big bucks, apparently. For his turn in the 9th Fast and Furious film, yes, 9th, he was paid $20 million up front.
It's the price we pay for peace and quiet.
He also received a portion of the profits, which would estimate his total gains around $50 million. If that wasn't shocking enough, Diesel made $54 million combined for voicing Groot in 3 films.
I'm Groot.
The man just repeatedly said, "I am Groot," into a microphone and was handed $54 million. That's honestly a little ridiculous, but totally worth it.
I am Groot.
Number 5, Ben Affleck. Ben Affleck has certainly come a long way from the days when he was basically considered Matt Damon's sidekick. In 2020, Affleck made a reported $55 million for 2 roles. 1 motion picture release, The Way Back, and 1 Netflix release, The Last Thing He Wanted.
Basin initiative is very important, and it's one that we'll be handling with a
experienced hands.
Getting cast as Batman in the DC Extended Universe helped a lot, donning the cape and cowl multiple times. The actor, director, writer recently got back together with his former flame Jennifer Lopez after 18 years, once again forming Bennifer, a very wealthy power couple.
What are your superpowers again?
I'm rich.
Number 4, Johnny Depp. Much like Arnold Schwarzenegger, Johnny Depp knows when he is in demand and when he can negotiate a hefty paycheck. For the first Pirates of the Caribbean film, Depp made a pauper's salary of only $10 million.
Now, if you'd be so kind, I'd be much obliged if you dropped me off my ship.
The subsequent films were far more lucrative for the character actor, and much like some of the others on our list, he began to rake in a portion of the profits as well.
Not so bad.
For the second film, Depp's salary was doubled, and so on. It is estimated that Jack Sparrow made approximately $300 million for the 5 films. Time to leave some of the booty for other pirates, Mr. Sparrow.
I have a rendezvous beyond my beloved horizon.
Number 3, Harrison Ford. Harrison Ford has had much luck with characters only he can play. The main example of this is Indiana Jones. For Raiders of the Lost Ark, the first film in the original trilogy, Ford was paid $5.9 million. This seems rather low by today's standards, but this was in 1981. When it was deemed he was indispensable for the role, Ford took advantage. For 2008's Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, Ford's salary was over 10 times his 1981 take, coming in at an astonishing $65 million.
This ain't gonna be easy.
Not as easy as it used to be.
With a 5th film in the works and Ford once again donning the fedora, we don't even want to imagine what his salary will be this time around.
Somewhere your grandpa is laughing.
Number 2, Robert Downey Jr. Another fierce negotiator, Robert Downey Jr. was well aware of his importance to the MCU when the later films came along. For 2008's Iron Man, the first film in the gargantuan Marvel Cinematic Universe, Downey agreed upon a salary of $500,000 with an 8% cut of future profits, regardless of what they may be.
Sometimes you gotta run before you can walk.
After his journey through a series of films, Downey basically became Tony Stark, both as the essential actor for the role and in real-life wealth.
I am Iron Man.
For his penultimate film in Phase 3, Avengers Infinity War, Downey raked in $75 million.
I'm going to allow that.
He made about the same for Endgame. At that point, we can all agree that any other actor would have been unacceptable, and we can only assume Downey knew that.
And I am Iron Man.
Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few other insanely expensive actors deserving of honorable mention. Will Smith. He was paid $40 million for King Richard.
The chances of achieving the kind of success that you're talking about is just very, very unlikely.
Okay, you making a mistake, but I'm gonna let you make it.
Tom Hanks. Saving Private Ryan earned him $40 million and Forrest Gump $60 million.
Is that a souvenir? No, sir. Take your time, Cole.
Emma Stone. She danced her way to $26 million with La La Land.
Okay. No, I'm happy for you.
Leonardo DiCaprio. He made $30 million for Netflix's Don't Look Up and $50 million for Inception.
If I were to do this, if I even could do it, I'd need a guarantee. How do I know you can deliver?
Keanu Reeves. Neo accumulated $250 million for the first 3 Matrix films.
I know Kung Fu.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1, Daniel Craig.
The name's Bond. James Bond.
You'd think Daniel Craig would top our list for his turn as James Bond. Well, you'd be wrong. For the upcoming 2 sequels to 2019's Knives Out, Craig will be paid $100 million. This payday has officially pushed him up to the title of highest paid actor in 2021. The explanation for this is that streaming giant Netflix has purchased the rights to the franchise.
You will find me a respectful, quiet, passive observer.
A big-name actor can now negotiate an exorbitant salary, given that box office profits are not up for grabs. Streaming services are now a powerful force to be reckoned with, but with great power comes great payouts, and household names are well aware of this development. Cheers, Mr. Bond.
Do me a favor, will you? Throw that down the toilet. Cut out the middleman.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.